LCR Honda announced within the last week that they have signed Alex Rins to their team until the end of 2024. It will be the first time that the Spaniard has ridden on a non-Suzuki bike, as he has been with the Hamamatsu factory ever since his arrival in the Premier class in 2017. This is just the latest domino to fall into place for the 2023 grid, and there are many more to go. So let's take a look at some of them and the options for all of the teams. Starting with LCR, there is still a second seat up for grabs at that team. The two most likely candidates are Takaki Nakagami and Ai Ogura. It is a difficult choice between these two. Nakagami's 2020 season was impressive, and the Honda has been lacking since then, meaning that his latest results may not be representative of his ability. Taka also brings experience that may be needed to support Honda's future development as they dig themselves out of their current hole. That being said, Ai Ogura's clear talent in the junior categories, currently sitting third in Moto 2, must be recognised, and if he decides he's ready to move up, he would probably have the opportunity for advancement opened up for him. For me, that makes Ogura the far more logical option, with Rins now bringing the race-winning experience to the team. A young rider who can learn and benefit from his experience seems like the better option in the long term for the LCR team. Sticking with Honda, I think we've all heard the rumours of Joan Mir moving to the Repsol team. There are still, of course, other candidates for the seat possible, Miguel Oliveira being one of them. It is interesting to compare these two riders since they have been polar opposites in much of their time in the MotoGP class. Mir has, of course, until recently been a consistent rider who pulled out results in every round, but has never been one for wins. He still has the same number of race wins as championships, which is perhaps not a record that someone wants to have. By comparison, Miguel has a history of inconsistency. Low lows, but triumphant highs. As of the moment, Mir seems like the more logical option for Honda, and that's probably why we're hearing so many rumours. He has historically been a more consistent rider, and given his fewer options, will probably be cheaper for Honda to pick up. This would put Joan Mir alongside Marc Marquez, which would be an interesting lineup for the 2023 season, and one that I would be very excited to see. With that change to the Honda lineup, it leaves Pol Espargaro without a seat for the 2023 season. As of this moment, it seems a KTM return is on the cards. It would be a bit of a tail tuck between the legs moment for Pol, as he would return to the KTM Tech 3 team, which is more junior to the team he left a few years ago. It would feel like a bit of a demotion after 2 years at a factory team, even one that has struggled as much as Honda, and it may not be an easy fight for the seat for Pol. This is because Augusto Fernandez, who currently sits second in the Moto 2 standings and is a KTM rider, will have an eye on that seat. KTM may be forced to deny the Moto 2 World Champion a seat as they look towards a rider who is more likely to help development of the bike with his MotoGP experience. To me, Pol Espargaro should be the one getting that KTM Tech 3 seat, despite Augusto's talent and the possibility of him winning the Moto 2 title. Pol has had a torrid time at Honda, yes, but I believe that he could be critical in helping the development of the bike and ensuring that KTM returns to more competitive form in the future. Whomever KTM decides on, it seems likely that Gardner will remain at the Tech 3 team for 2023, despite his manager seeming to be doing his best to kick up a storm and complain about the Austrian manufacturer. Personally, I believe it will be Remy Gardner and Pol Espargaro at the Tech 3 team for 2023, which would be an interesting lineup. Moving on to Aprilia RNF, where there will likely be 2 seats free for 2023. Despite his pretty impressive form, considering his experience, Darren Binder will probably be leaving MotoGP and dropping back to Moto 2, whilst Dovizioso is set to retire. Rumours have been circulating online that Raul Fernandez and Miguel Oliveira will join RNF. This would be a fiery team pairing. Miguel has improved his consistency in the past 4 rounds, coming across the line in 9th, showing that he may be curing those consistency issues. An alternative to Miguel is Pol Espargaro. With his brother Aleix Espargaro being on the main team, it is possible that some words would be said to the Aprilia bosses if Pol is struggling to find a seat for next year. Whilst either would bring a good amount of experience to the team, Miguel seems like the more talented option to bring into the fold of Razlan's team, and is the route that I would go down. Raul Fernandez is obviously a pretty good pick. We've seen what he can do in Moto 2, and on a more competitive Aprilia, perhaps he will show what he's truly capable of. Mentioning VR46 quickly, it is highly unlikely that Marini would move. Bezzecchi will probably remain at the team as well, although I could see RNF pursuing him, opening the gates for Vietti at the VR46 team. But as of the moment, the VR46 lineup looks set to remain as it is. And lastly, Ducati, who are stuck in a bit of a difficult situation. As we know, they're deciding between Martin and Enea. Based on the most recent form, Enea would probably be the one to move up, but it is a difficult choice. Whoever loses out will get a Pramac seat on probably the latest machinery. Who I would choose, I don't know, but Enea is Italian and has that card in his hand. So I would expect Ducati to promote him and have Martin remain at Pramac. Zarco looks set to remain despite the fact that as of the moment he is actually probably the best option for the factory seat. But sadly, he will likely remain at Pramac for the foreseeable future. Hopefully he can get his race win there. That's how I see the dominoes falling into place now that almost half of the rider market is decided for 2023. How would you like to see the rest of the places get filled? Are there any riders you would like to see on specific bikes? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, share as well, and I want to thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.